Hello, I'm Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to talk about the idea of professional reputation and why you should focus on it more. Before I dive any deeper and kind of explain what I mean by this, I want to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you get all the various lessons and episodes that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and truly thank you if you already were. It means a lot to me. So, this idea really came to me from a phone call with a friend of mine, and we were chatting, and he was saying how cool it was that I was doing some free coaching pretty much until the end of the election day. And what I mean by this, if you're not aware, is if you're interested, I'm doing 15-minute sessions, capping it at 8 sessions per week, and instead of paying me my normal rate, you just essentially donate some money to a charity. It could be $1, it could be $5, whatever you feel is a fair amount to donate. That's the fee, right? So trying to create a win-win-win for everybody. Anyway, the point being that he said that it was cool that I was doing this. And I said, well, you can too. And he's like, well, I don't have the audience that you have. I said, I don't have an audience. Certainly not by like other people's standards. I don't have an audience. I said, what I do have is a professional reputation with the people that know me. And it just kind of in that moment really solidified for me a very basic truth, but it isn't sometimes until we acknowledge and say simple things out loud that it truly gives them meaning and gives us a direction, right? It can be kind of inherent within us, but once we can solidify it with simple words, that's when it really, whatever, the training wheels are off and you can bike forward faster, whatever sort of metaphor you want to take to it. But the point being that, yeah, I think too often times when it comes to social media in particular, people are focused on more and more fans. And other people have a different way of saying it in the sense of like, you got to add value. But my version of it is going to be, what's your professional reputation? What is it that you want to put out into the world? And to a large extent, certainly if you're going out for a job, especially nowadays, whether you work in the entertainment space or not, people check your social media, right? And so you want it to be representative of who you are. Now, that doesn't mean I don't post the things that I feel and so forth, but they are representative of who I am and my beliefs and so forth, right? And, certainly I've misspoken, and I'm not the only one. I'm sure you have as well. It happens to the best of us, but I do try to apologize if and when I have, and I try to learn from it. But I would never, at the same time, to the extent that I know, I've never misspoken to an egregious level. And for me, I am trying to, when with the things that I put out on social media and so forth, yeah, it is that notion of like, what's my professional reputation? I'm not interested in more followers or anything like that. I'm interested in bringing value to the people and that are kind of on this journey with me, let's say. And furthermore, it's a matter of doing right by them, and sort of my word being my bond. And certainly a lot of the people that do follow me on social media are people that I've known through previous work. And that to me is always the focus, is making sure that I maintain those relationships. I think I've talked about this in other iterations, but I think a big mistake young people make, especially early on in their careers, is they go chasing the new thing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, take the bigger, better offer when it becomes available, but don't burn past bridges. Always try to maintain those relationships. And I think too many people that I've seen, at least, they don't keep that in mind. They're just enamored by the shiny new nickel and go forward with that, meanwhile pissing off somebody who was there for them and so forth. And I wouldn't recommend that. Again, focus on your professional reputation. And, your professional reputation ultimately should be decided by you, like whatever that means. For me, it's a set of standards of, thoughtful discussion, trying to be solution-oriented, trying to give good advice, delivering on deadlines. When it's for other people, I don't always deliver on my own deadlines. Most of the time I do, but sometimes I don't. But, in that sense, I'm not letting anyone else down but me. So when it comes to other people, I try not to let them down. When I am about to, let's say, miss a deadline, then being upfront about it of like, hey, I'm about to miss this deadline, but, I'll work hard to do X, Y, and Z and whatever else, and here's how we can kind of fix it, right? So having a clear line of communication is ultimately what that bullet point is. But these are just some of the things, right? At least for me, and that I urge you to consider for yourself and define it as you will. Anyway, that's the lesson. It's a simple one, to focus on your professional reputation rather than just followers, and see what good comes out of that. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. By all means, share whatever it is you want to share in the comment section down below, or hit me up on social media at Svitek. I would truly appreciate to have and continue this dialogue. If you think this lesson would be a benefit to someone in your life, by all means, share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I'll see you next time.